Right. So before I start with everything, it's kind of raining here, so I might get some delays in like telling whatever I'm going to. So just have patience with me. Now, this one nowadays, you people must have heard about open source and terms like that, like open source or remote work and all. They are like buzzing words that are coming up. And now what I would be doing is like telling a brief on what Git and GitHub can be used in your like software development field. A minute, like getting people in. Yeah. Okay. So Git and GitHub can be used for many purposes, like say collaboration. What do you do on a daily basis? You people just code, and then you don't know how to collaborate. What the college or any other academic does not teach us is how to not collaborate with others, right? So what has to be done here in this Git and GitHub is it helps you people to share your code and work with others and like build on the code. So this can be used in an organizational level. And as students, if we get to know more about how this Git and GitHub can be used, we'll be more job ready than the others. Yeah. So like starting off with it, you would also be getting to know a little bit of what Hacktoberfest is, and this how this would be the knowledge of whatever I'm going to tell you now. It would be useful for this one, the code contribution and bug fixing. I'll be sharing my slide right now. Yeah. Can you all see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, right. Right. So I'll be starting off with the session. Okay, now what is operating systems? Like what does operating systems like normally do? What we do is it provides an like environment for running the programs. So if you want to like code and like just build on your project or something, that is when the operating system comes handy. There are two types of operating system. One would be application software, and another is system software. In that, application software is basically like say GitHub itself is an example for it. And there are many apps, like say you use Telegram, WhatsApp, web and all inside the application software. And when you go to the system software, the things that you use like Windows, Unix, Linux, Ubuntu, this one, everything else comes under the system software. So it gives you a base on what you have to work on, right? So now what we are going to do is this one will be focusing more on what this GitHub and the operating system is getting related to. One minute, I'll just admit people in. Yeah. So the agenda for the whole day would be I will be talking about what Git and GitHub is, then the difference between both of them, and their use cases in the real life, how we can use it as employer or employees, and how it can be used as students, because that's what we totally focus on. And GitHub key terms, like how you can work on GitHub and how you can like see when you're going to hackathons or anything like that. Git and GitHub is the most used tool you could tell, because you collaborate with your teammates to create a project, right? And now how you work with the client apps, I'll be talking giving you a live demo. So if you people like follow up with me for the live demo, it will be like useful for you in the future. Then I'll also be telling how to host a website, that is actually get the domain name for a website. And then I'll teach you what like the theory on what collaborating coding is, and there's a quiz, of course. Okay, getting right into it, what is Git and GitHub? Now, Git is nothing but the version control system, and what the version control system does is it's like openly available to everyone, and it is also a kind of a application software that you'll have to download inside the system. And this Git, the whole concept of Git and GitHub started when in the offices, when employees and employers, they started to like leave the jobs. The work had to be taught to the people who are leaving the who are newly joined. When you're leaving a job, then you'll have to teach the whole job to newly joined people, then you'll have to leave. But now using Git and GitHub, what happens is it tracks all the record history of whatever you would have done previously. So then it will be like very easy for us to collaborate. Like the newcomers, say someone leaves the job and they would have done something in Git, and it stores the full tracked history in it. And say I join a company new, and I will get to know what has to be done in the company, even without the old employees' help, because I would know what they have done. Yeah, so I'll know what they would have done. Now, starting right into it, this is how Git started. And what GitHub is basically it's the web server. It does exactly what the Git does, but it is a web server where you can even host the websites, and it will have all the repositories. Repositories are nothing but like the folders that you'll be having for the project. Say if you're doing a project, and in the project, you'll have a lot of files that will be integrated. Say you are opening up, like you're creating a website. The website does not have just a HTML page, right? It will have HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and many other backend tools like attached to it. Now, what we do is we integrate into one page. Like mostly, it will be saved as index.html, and that is where we collaborate, and that is like the main page to open the whole website. Now, to integrate all of it, we just store it in GitHub, and anyone can put in their say front end, you don't know back end. Then what do? You just do the whole front end thing, and you can ask your friends or your colleagues to work on the back end and collaborate with your front end developed project. Yeah, so this is what Git and GitHub is. There is a difference between Git and GitHub too. Git is nothing but it is like stored inside your system. Say I go to my system and I have already downloaded Git. So this is how like the whole Git looks like. It's still opening. Can you all see the Git opened in my laptop? Anyone? Hello?
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So this is okay, so this is what Git is, and this is already like pre-installed in my laptop, and this is one of the application software that is already stored in my laptop. But if I do any, this is Git, okay. If I do any changes to changes to my say code, it will get dragged via the Git, and you'll be using many command line tools in Git. I won't be going much into Git today. The whole thing would be about Git. I'll just tell you the brief difference between what Git and GitHub is. Before that, I'll just take in some numbers. Okay, GitHub now, very Google terms, is Git is a software, but GitHub is a service. And in Git, it is basically a command line tool that is locally installed on your in your system. So like as I showed you, it is like downloaded already, pre-downloaded in my it is pre-downloaded in my system. So that's what Git is, and its main focus is on code conservation and version control. And Git is open source software. Even GitHub is an open source, it's free of use. I'll be talking more on what open source and free software really means. It basically means like you can go and contribute on it as you wish, and open source is basically you don't have to pay for it, and you can like use it on your day-to-day. And GitHub is a service, as I already told, and it's a GUI that's hosted on website. So basically, what GitHub is like, if you go to the Chrome page, if you go to the Chrome page here, you can open github.com. So this is GitHub. Okay, this is the project that was on. Okay. Yeah, so this is GitHub. GitHub is basically nothing but the website that you can, as you can see here, and Git is like pre-installed in your systems. Now, the difference is, okay, it focuses on web hosting, code collaboration, and code sharing. There, Git was focusing on only the code tracking history and all that. And in GitHub, it includes the free tier and paid tier as well. So there will be projects where you can work on, and it will be available for free, or it won't be available for free. Like, say you're working on Unix, it's an open source software where you can contribute, make changes to it, and you can ask the main person who manages it to make the changes that you think is right, and they'll merge the code, whatever you made the changes to their software to make it look even better, to like improve the code of the project or something like that. Now we have finished the differences with Git and GitHub. People are joining in. Now the use cases on Git and GitHub. So as I already told you that the employers, as you see, can easily, like in an organization, you can easily implement Git and GitHub for any code collaboration. So see, it's like WhatsApp in a very professional term. It's called Github Discussions. Okay, there's this page where you can go and you can start putting in your the project ideas or that you want to merge into the website or anything. Am I audible? And is it all going right? Just wanted to check in.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It's working.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So this is what the use cases is. And is my speed okay, or should I go slower or anything?
It's okay. It's normal speed only.
Right. Okay. Then. So the use cases is, the first use cases would be the employer. So many are joining it late, I think. Disturbing. So the use cases, one would be the employers and employees in the organization. The other use case would be students in the hackathon. Say you are in hackathons, you're like working in a team, right? So when you're working in a team, then you'll have, say, front end, and your friend knows UI, UX, another friend of yours knows the back end. You have to collaborate together. And how do you do that? You put your code, they put their code, they integrate it together, and they make the whole code work. So this can happen in Git using Git and GitHub. So this will be the use case. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, this is we are entering into the main Git and GitHub, like what it actually does. There are some terms that is used in GitHub that might look very, very hard at times, but it is really easy to understand. Say this is a whole workflow. Okay, say there's GitHub. And here, what you're trying to do is you will be forking the project. So in GitHub, you have a project, you think. GitHub is nothing but the website that I've showed you already. Now in this GitHub, I'll be forking in the project. Forking in the project is nothing but taking in the project and making it your own. So the code, say I am the front-end developer. Now a back-end developer has to integrate the code with the front-end developer. Now what do? I need to get the code of the front-end developer, right? So they will already upload it on GitHub. Now I'll fork the project and make it my own. So all the code that they have written in their system will become my own. Now what I do is like I make changes to it. Like I may say I add the backend stuff to the front end. So let's say the button works and all, like the button that you click, you use JavaScript for it. So all that works and all, you think. And after that, what I do is first the project, I clone it. So what cloning means is for making any changes or anything, I'll have to clone the project. I'll be showing you stepwise totally on the real life basis. So this is just how the theory of it works. Now I'll be cloning the whole project. And commit, what does commit mean is if I make any changes to it, say the backend I have added any like any files or any content to it, then I'll be committing the project. Then I will put a pull request. What is a pull request? Now the front end guy, the front end student who was doing the whole front end project, that guy is the main one, right? He has given his project to you and he has asked you to put your backend code to him. So what you have to do is you have to get his permission for getting your code merged with his code. Only if it gets merged with his code in his repository, the whole project will work. The whole project will work with your code on in it. So then, if he merges it, then the code will be complete with your like with your code. So this is basically we learned what fork is. Fork is nothing but getting the repository. The whole repository of whatever he has done. Cloning is nothing but taking it into your local system. Then commit is nothing but whatever changes you do, you change push it, like you push it into the project. So once you push it into the project, you do the pull request. What is pull request? That you're asking that guy, like the front end guy, if you can add your like code into his project. Then what do you do? What does he do? He merges the project to his own. So this is how the whole GitHub flow is. Now we have seen, okay, now what is a repository? So basically the front end guy uses HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Now all this are basically stored in folders or files. Now this is called a repository. And what is a branch? The branch is nothing but there will be main branches. Say I want to work, the whole work will be done in main branch. Okay. First it was called master branch. Now it's called main branch. This one, the whole main branch is where the whole thing happens. And if you want to branch in most of the stuff, say I have the first page in my main branch, and then the second page, if I click a button, it goes to the second page. The second page I can put it in this one, the branch, the new branch that I had created. Now pull request is nothing but if I make any changes and I ask him to merge, ask the first guy to merge it, if you people remember, that is called the pull request. Commit is nothing but any changes that I make into the code. 1 minute, I'll just let people in. There are people coming in. Yeah. Yep. So commit is nothing but making changes to it. Then issues is nothing but, say you are having a WhatsApp group discussion, as I told you, like GitHub is all about discussions, collaborations, code sharing, and all that, right? So first you in GitHub, like say there's a discussion page where a guy comes and tells that there is an issue here and none of us can solve it. So you put this in under issues. You put it under issues and you can like put it as open source, and anyone who can access GitHub can go to your code and solve the issue once you assign it to them. So there is something called assigning in issues. I'll be talking about it in the live demo. And then there are labels. Labels are nothing but you are putting in the labels like if the project is beginner friendly. Like the person who has to complete the issues has to know if he can work in the issue, right? So if you have put beginner friendly, then he'll if he is a beginner, then he can contribute to it. Or if say you put JavaScript or something, then a person who knows JavaScript will specifically come in and work on it. So that's why you put in labels. And who is the one who puts in labels? The one who is like issues the issue. Like if you have any issues, you put in the issue, then you put in the labels as well for it to become easier for anyone to come in and work on it. And fork is nothing but we saw here, like the project has to be forked for making any changes to it. So this is all about it. We'll be getting right into the live demo in a minute. Yeah. Did you guys understand what I'm talking about like till now? Or should I repeat any part of it?
No, we understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'll just get into the live demo, then maybe you'll understand better if you didn't. Okay. In GitHub, say I go to my account and okay, I just start a new repository. Okay, this is called a repository. That is nothing but I'm starting a project and I'm telling. So basically, say a repository name can be like anything, say MLSA test. Yeah. So I'll be saying that this repository, I'm creating this repository. That is nothing but this folder is being created. So this is the project's name. Say in organizations, this will be the project's name. And then I can make it public. So public is nothing but anyone who uses GitHub can access to it. And private is nothing but the one I choose to represent or the organization can look into it. And add a README file. It is basically for documentation purposes. And then Yeah, that is it. Like ignore and all is not needed. Choose a license. A license, I can just choose a license for copyright purposes. And I'm just creating a repository right now. So the folder is being created. Now, you people got to know what repository means. In a README file, it just takes in the repository name because I haven't written anything to it. If I want to write something to it, I can just put in this the pencil mark, and then I can just go make commit changes to it. Yeah, so this is the basic part. Anyways, now if I have, okay, I'll go to the main one. Okay, now the repository is done. So the repository is done. Say I want to add a file. So I can just create a new file, or I can upload files. Like upload files in the sense, like if I already have a folder or file in my computer system that I have worked in, maybe using VS Code or something, I can just put it like pull it in, or I can just create a new file directly in GitHub. It also provides spaces called GitHub code spaces these days. I'll be talking about it later at the end. Just get to know the terms. Okay, say let's say web page. Yeah, it looks good to me. HTML.html, because this is a HTML page that I'll be creating, and a really basic HTML page. People can fork it later and practice on it. Yeah, so this is like a really basic HTML page that I'll be committing to. Now, what is commit? Commit is nothing but I'm making changes to it. So this is my own folder that I'm making changes to. Say I'm a front-end developer, I commit the new file. So now this is being added to it. Okay, so now I have finished the whole whatever this is, the repository. Okay, now you have a lot of other things like pull requests. Okay, the branch that I was talking about is this. Say I want to create a new branch. There is only main branch, that is the master branch that will be there. Now I want to create another like new branch or something. Say I'll put it as, let's see. Yeah. 1 minute, someone wants to join in, I think. So, okay, now I'm creating a new branch. Say named MLC, and I will create a branch. So what are the active branches that I have right now? Okay, I made a mistake. Yeah, so what are the active branches that I have right now? I have two branches. One is main and one is MLC that I have created right now. So in MLC, I will be having the copied main folders in it. And here I can make any code changes and merge to the main as well. Say, like I update the README file, like I just write into it, MLSA test, say test active, something like that. And I say that I have updated the README file. And I commit changes. Now this change is being committed into the next branch, right? Like the other branch that I created, the MLC branch. Now, if I have to make this changes to my main branch, then what I have to do is, see, MLC had recent pushes less than a minute ago. Now I can compare and pull request. Pull request in the sense I'm asked, like I'm actually requesting the main branch if it can take in this newly added code or not. So I say compare and pull request. So compare and pull request and create pull request. You just give it in. Yeah. So it's, yep. Now what happens is, this is asking me to merge pull request. Why is it asking me myself to merge the pull request? It's because it is my own page, right? I'll be having the own it's my own branches. Like the main branch is also mine, and the MLC new branch is also mine. So it's asking me myself if I can merge the pull request. Sometimes you will just think that you will have to work on some other part of code, then come back to it, right? So you can just directly merge pull request, confirm merge. Now it is all merged. Yes, the pull request successfully merged and it's closed. That's it. So if I go to my main branch, say, yeah, I'm in my main branch. Yeah, now you can see in my README, the test active is being added here as well. So whatever changes I made to the MLC branch is being shown in the main branch as well. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys about. Now the branch is also done. What are the other key terms that were left? Do you guys remember? The other key terms that we were seeing, we finished commit now, we finished what pull requests, and we saw branches, we saw what repositories, what else was left? Anyone? Okay. Yeah. Am I audible? Is it all going fine?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you are taught.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, okay. What we missed is issues next. Okay, issues, then forking, right? Okay, so what is issues? Issues is, say I have any issue that I cannot solve, or any of my colleagues or a person who's working on my repository cannot solve. But in here, right now, whatever I have made the repository, I'm the only one, I'm the only owner, right? So I cannot solve the problem, you think. So I go to issues and create an issue, and I put it public out there, saying anyone can solve this issue. Say I go to this new issue, and then I say the title to be this one, help needed in say the HTML page, okay, the web page UI. I say this and I submit this issue. But before submitting this issue, I also given the kind of labels that I want to give. Okay, I'll just submit the issues now. Yeah, I submitted the issue, and now I can give these things. See, in this issue page is basically also a kind of discussion page. Say I tell I have this issue, then people can come in and put in their thoughts, like I can help you with this and all. So if they can help in, then I can go assign it to them. Like if another person has asked, then I can just put their name, and then I can assign the issue to them, and they can solve, and they can create pull requests, and they can ask me if they need some help in it or not. If I need meaning their pull request, then I can merge their request into my own project. That's how the issues mostly get solved. Now the labels. What are labels? Say this is see help needed in web page UI. So someone who knows UI is needed, but say it is some beginner friendly, or it's an issue that anyone can work on. I'm new to GitHub and I want to start contributing to some project, but then it is a beginner friendly issue. Then I just tell it is okay, not beginner friendly. First 1 minute. Yeah, good first issue. So I just put in this label called good first issues. So yeah. So now the label is created called the good first issue. Anyone who comes to this issue will know that it's a good first issue, and they won't be having any help, they won't be needing any technical knowledge in solving this issue. So this is how the issue works. What else was there? Yeah, the labels is finished, and forking is nothing but, say I have this repository, or this is someone else's repository. Now I want to work in this repo. Okay. Right. It is empty for now. I'll just take in some other repository. Give me a minute. Okay, fine. We'll just let it load for some time. We'll keep it at last. But yeah, so you guys got to know like the basic terms of what GitHub terms are. So all these this is done. Now, yeah, working using client apps. Now in this one GitHub itself, there are 3 ways you can work on GitHub. So the first one would, okay, Git is just for tracking the record. So if you leave the Git separately, then you'll have 3 ways to work in GitHub. One would be using the GitHub web. That's what we were doing right now. We were using the GitHub web. Then we'll have the GitHub Desktop. The GitHub Desktop is nothing. It's also another tool. It's a very, it's a tool to make things even more easier. And there's something called GitHub CLI, and this GitHub CLI is also like GitHub Web and Desktop, just another way of doing things. Like the same thing that we're doing would be can be done using GitHub Desktop, is what I meant. Yep. Does anyone have any doubts or anything? It's been one-way interaction till now.
No doubts.
It's all going good. Like people are able to understand, or
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. We'll just go to the next slide. This one, yeah, GitHub using client apps. In client apps, whatever we saw was GitHub Web. Now, say I want to work on this using GitHub Desktop. Now, that's another tool that will make things easier, right? We'll see how to work on that. Now, say I just put this option called Open with GitHub Desktop. I have already downloaded GitHub Desktop, so I can just directly open it. Yeah, and I just clone. Yeah, you saw this clone word, right? So this clone is nothing but I'm taking in the whole project, downloading it into my local system. Whatever is happening till now was happening inside the website. Now I'm like cloning it into my this one local system. So it's all set. Like you saw the. Okay, I'll just do it again. Okay, you guys saw the like place where it got stored, right? Like it was something called user slash Muthulakshmi slash say some go or something like that. So if it is like that, the whole code is being downloaded into that that file and that. So here, what we can do is, if you want to make changes to the code, like using desktop, like the GitHub desktop, you can do it. Say you open in Visual Studio Code for making any changes, and you go to any of the files, and say you want to make some changes to it. Okay, say you change this to Microsoft Learn, and I save it. Now, after saving it, I have to make this change to the code that was already available. I think, yeah. Yeah, so it's all saved. Now I have made a change to it to the code, and I have also saved it. Now I'll have to push the code to the original code. See, so it's like very easy to understand. So it was called Microsoft Student Summit, but now it is called Microsoft Learn. So there's a change in it. This is being very evidently seen in GitHub Desktop. Now, if I want to like commit changes, like committing changes is nothing but making the right changes to the code, right? So I'll just tell. Change code maybe, yeah, and I commit to the main. I commit to the main, but what is happening here is I commit to the main in my local system. I haven't done anything to the main project that was already available in the web server. So what I should be doing is I have to push it to the origin. Origin is nothing but the GitHub web that I had like I had opened the repository in. Okay, now it says fetch origin. I'll just go to Chrome and check what's happening there. Yeah. I just have to wait for some time for it to get merged here. Oh, still hasn't popped up. Let's try again. I'll give another space. It's fetching the origin, and it has like pushed the code into the main repository. But it still hasn't come there. Just give me a minute. I'll just check what's happening. Let's see. Yeah, okay, there are seven commits already. Okay, I didn't see this part. Okay, so there are 7 commits that have been formed already, right? So the last commit that I did was it says commit. So I just click on it and yeah, so I can see that I have changed the meaning I have changed some code here. So this is what I wanted to show, like using GitHub Desktop as well, you can change the codes and all. Now, this is what the GitHub, okay, we are finished with the GitHub Desktop. Now, the other thing that we'll be seeing is the GitHub command line interface. I'll just let you people to like explore on more on this because we have finished web and desktop. It is kind of similar, but using the command lines, you'll have to do it. And now, the main thing is hosting the website. So how GitHub provides this this feature of hosting a website live. Say I have to host the website that I have made here. Yeah. So I want to host this MLSA web page like live. So what would I do is I go to settings and there'll be pages here. So I'll go to pages. Just leave it to deploy from a branch for now. And then yeah, which branch we have to select. So the main branch, I want the files in the main branch to get like hosted live. Then I save it. Yeah. So once I save it, if you go to GitHub Actions, GitHub Actions is a tool where you can explore a lot more on. Just go look at it for some time. So what is happening here is the pages are getting built and it is getting into the deployment stage. So for some time it will it takes some time for it to deploy, and then the whole website that we have written the code for is being launched in some time. We'll just wait for it to happen. Once the green tick comes, the whole code will get hosted live. Yellow. Yeah, so there's a green tick. Now we can directly go in and check if okay, so this says the report build status and it's being deployed as well. And they've given us a link here. So this link says that the whole code is being deployed. I click on the link and I'll be getting whatever is there in the README file for now. What I should be doing is I should make some changes to the code, this one, the URL. I'll just go to code and it is mlsa.html, right? Page. Okay. Yeah. So whatever I wrote inside the HTML page, as you can see in the VS Code, I have written, hey folks, welcome to Microsoft Student Learn. Hey, I'm Muthulakshmi as well. So this is being displayed inside the website. This is a really, a basic HTML file. You can like put in your personal portfolios. You can make your personal portfolios and host it live in using GitHub. So this is how you do it. So we have finished how to host a website live. Yep. So the next thing I'll be going to is the collaborative coding that the GitHub provides. Is there any doubt or anything that's bothering any one of you?
No doubts.
No, everything is all right.
Okay, now we'll go into collaborative coding. So we have to get these 3 terms. One is GitHub code spaces,
Excuse me.
another. Yep, yeah.
Can you explain again the hosting website?
Oh yeah, sure. Hosting the website, right? Yep. Okay, I'll just go host the website again. Say there is something called MLSA webpage.html, right? This is the main website. Now I have to host this website live. What I do is I go to settings, then I'll go to GitHub pages. Pages is in the left side, so pages. Then I'll be going into the deploy from a branch because I have the HTML page inside my branch, right? So I'll deploy from a branch. Then I go into the main. I choose the main branch. Then I save. Okay. I think I'll have to do it again then. Yeah. You have to add in the import the code from another repository. That's an easier way, no? I'm just going into my directly and getting the link for the last previous repository that I did. MLSA test. Yeah. Okay, I've just cloned it and I'm importing the old repository. Yeah, okay. So the whole thing is duplicated into my other repository. That's what I did now. And what I should be doing is I'll be having to host this. So go to settings, pages, deploy from a branch, main branch, and you have to save it. Yeah. Once you save, go to GitHub Actions. And it is in the deployment stage. Once it gets deployed,
Can
Yeah.
you repeat
Which part of it?
like that? Whatever you were telling, it was breaking actually voice.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. That's why. I'll just. I'm just creating another one. I'm audible now, right? Like, just keep telling me if I'm not.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
Then index.html. I copy some of the code. Yeah. And I commit the new file. Yeah, so index.html is my web page that I'll be having to host. I'll go to pages. Then from the branch, I choose the main branch. I save it. Once I save it, I'll have to go to the GitHub Actions and I'll have to wait for it to get deployed. Was there any other doubt like in the whole session? Do you people get like an overview of why we use Git and GitHub?
Yeah.
You're not audible.
I think the net is slow. 1 minute. Yeah. So this page is deployed right now. The green tick can you can all see there. You go to this pages, and here it just shows how it's been built. First, it got report built and it got deployed. Now you just click on the link. Once you click on the link, then you'll be able to see the index.html file posted live. So you can use this URL and you can give it to anyone. It will work at 24/7 anytime. Just not in your local system, but with anyone it will work. So this is how you host a website live. Did anyone have any other doubt? Is it all clear? The one who asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
You're not audible.
The next slide is
You're
collaborative.
not audible, Muthu.
Okay, what about now? It's all good.
Yeah, all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Audible.
Okay, collaborative coding. There are three types of collaborative coding. One is GitHub Codespaces, Co-Pilot, and Discussions. Discussions, you people would have got a brief idea on what discussion is. I was telling it is kind of like a WhatsApp. Like it is some collaborative communication forum for the community around the open source and for the internal projects. So all the open-minded people in the same organization like discuss on the project. They work on it together. They collaborate and share their files, and they solve the issues together. So that's how the GitHub discussion is being used. And then when you go to GitHub Copilot, GitHub Copilot is nothing but these days you get the autocomplete code once you start coding. Like it auto detects and says that this is how you'll have to finish the code. Like say you just put a cout statement, it shows you the whole format and on how it will end. So GitHub Copilot is being used there. So we get the whole auto completed style suggestions from the AI pair programmer as we code. So they must have done a lot of work for this Copilot thing, because it is all AI powered. And in GitHub Codespaces, as you can see, this is basically the development area that's hosted in cloud. So see, the OS, like the operating server that we are using normally in the local system, they got an idea that we can do it via the website. So similarly, they thought, why not we put the local
You're
system
not
ka work
audible.
area. Oh, what about now? Okay, it's raining here, so just bear with me. What about now? It's all good? Hello?
It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's all good.
Yeah, so this one in the code spaces, what we do is the whole development area is hosted in the cloud, like the VS Code. So like the OS, like the Windows is being virtual nowadays. Like in web, you can get many OS and all. You can work like GitHub. GitHub is itself an OS, like OS kind of platform only. So those kind of places we get. So in code spaces, it's nothing but the VS Code and those kind of things. Like we work in Eclipse and all, so that is being given that I don't know, provision is being given by GitHub. So that is called the code spaces. So basically you don't have to come back to VS Code as we did, like when we like downloaded the code from GitHub Desktop. What did we do? We went to VS Code to change the code, like commit the changes in the code, right? We don't have to do that anymore. We can directly go into GitHub code spaces, and they have given the whole package of development area. So now that is GitHub Copilot. I'll just be showing you guys like a brief on where you can get these resources from. Like, okay, the GitHub this one Copilot is this. Say you see this thing, what's happening? Actually, you write this one statement, and the whole blue color statement is being displayed by the Copilot. The Copilot is an AI powered engine that helps you to auto complete the code. So this is what is being done. Did you people get a brief idea on what GitHub Copilot is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is all about GitHub Copilot. Okay. Yeah, code space.
It's actually like extension. We can integrate to any IDEs, right?
Sorry, any IDEs. Yeah, you can get it through via any IDEs. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, here this one is okay. This one. Yeah. So this one is the code spaces that I was talking about.
Is GitHub Copilot available for all programming languages, or is it just HTML and CSS?
No, it'll be available for everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice one, like a nice tool to explore on actually. Yeah, okay. And GitHub code spaces, this code spaces is nothing but, as I told you, it's a VS code in a cloud, cloud-based thing. So you can just go, basically, why are we using cloud instead of the local system is because once you put it into cloud, even if you like lose your laptop or you just leave it at home, you can work, if you had stored it in cloud, then you can work from anywhere. You don't have, external storage devices like a pen drive or sending the whole file system to your mail or anything, any sort of that trouble. So that will get solved here in the core spaces. So yeah, this is the just on how core spaces looks like in the browser. It is in the browser, and wait, yeah, you can just see how it changes, like changes according to the see the browser name is given here on top, like dot dev, the GitHub dot dev thing. So this is how the code spaces work. Basically nowadays, this is a new tool we can all explore on. And the GitHub discussions is okay. I'll just show you a little bit on what GitHub discussions is about. Yeah. Okay, when I go here, I'll just get into this settings. Okay, right here, I'll be getting my organizations. I have created this organization called Sears. Okay, and here this is my own organization. I'm the only owner. There is no contribution to it, but I just created one organization randomly to show how the GitHub discussions might look like. I go to settings, and I don't have any repository in it. If I have had any repository in it, I can just go to discussions here on the left side, and I can enable the discussions. I should choose a repository. Right now, I do not have any repository, so I wouldn't be able to choose. But if I choose any repository, then I can save it. Once I save it, like anyone inside the organization can talk like what we do in WhatsApp in a very professional way to discuss on where they would be going further with their projects. So this is it with the like the collaborative coding. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah. The next slide is a quiz, actually. Like, just try answering to it. Yep. So what's the best way to report a bug to a GitHub project? Say you find a bug, what do we do? What do we do if you find a bug inside the project? You send an email to the project owner. You don't bother reporting any software bugs because there's no transparency anyway. Or would you search for the bug in the project's existing issues and create a new one if it hasn't been reported yet?
We can we can raise the issues.
Yeah. So which option would that be?
Option C. Search for
Yeah.
the bug in the project's existing issues.
Cool. Yeah. So the option 1 is correct. Second question, suppose you have created a bug fix on the new branch and you want it to become a part of the next production build generated from the main branch. What should you do next? Copy the code changes and commit them to the main branch directly. Create a pull request to merge your new branch into the main branch. Or on the second thought, maybe you won't share this fix because you'll just put it into your private version of the source code. What would you do?
Option B, I think.
Yeah, it's correct. It's create a pull request to merge your new branch into the main branch. Yep, that's right. Okay, so this is the final question. Suppose you would like to work with a project on GitHub, but you do not have the right access to the project. What can you do to contribute? Like you fork the project's repo to your account, clone to your local machine, push the changes to your repo and submit the pull request? Or do you clone to your local machine and push updates directly to the project repo? Or you'd use the git commands to make the copy of a project so that you can work locally, submit an issue to get the changes into the target repo? What would you do?
Option A, fork the project to the repo and clone your local machine and push your repo to submit.
Yep, you're right. Cool. Yeah. So this is what it is. Like this was a final question for me. What about you guys? Like, what did you understand? How did it go?
Yeah, it's actually nice. We enjoyed the session.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else like any doubts or anything that you had? Or you weren't clear
What's
with the
right
concept?
access?
It was good, actually, very important.
Oh,
And
nice.
actually enjoyed the
Yep.
session like with Git Go-Pilot.
Oh yeah, the co-pilot
Yeah, I
one.
have
Yeah,
a doubt
that's
here.
interesting.
What is right
Yeah, which
access?
It's
Um,
really interesting.
yeah, okay. You do not have the right access to the project in the sense you cannot directly write into the project, right? Say I am the code owner. I am the one who's writing the code. Then why would I give the public right access? So except me, anyone won't have the right access. If you say the organization, anyone outside the organization won't have the right access. So that's the right access. To put in other words, like you cannot make any changes to the code unless and until the owner tells you could, or they gives you, they assign you with a job. Without them assigning, you cannot make any right changes to it. Right changes in the sense just committing, right? Like making any changes to the code.
Yeah, got it.
Yep. Okay, so this is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Maybe soon I would be giving you a feedback form or something for you people to actually see how it went. I want many more suggestions for many other events that are coming up. Thank you so much for joining, guys. And anyone who wants a certificate, please do tell me, message me or something. Can you people all access the chat box? Okay, 1 minute. I am not able to actually.
No,
Oh, you're not able to, is
No,
it?
we can't access. No.
no, we can't.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I mean, this question is long overdue, but what's this a part of? Is this part of some, some training program, or what is it exactly?
Oh, okay, cool. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm from SJBIT. I'm in
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, so what GitHub is about is you can use any kind of language. You can do
No,
anything
I'm
in
not
it.
asking
Yeah.
about GitHub. I'm
Then,
not asking about GitHub. I'm asking about, like, you said you're gonna do some more things and stuff, right? So yeah,
sorry.
so
Wait, I didn't get you.
yeah, you said you're gonna submit a feedback form, and there are gonna be more stuff like this coming up.
Yes. I thought of forming like a
So what's this
community
a
or
part
something
of?
in a college.
Okay, is
This
this
is
a community or?
we haven't formed a pretty big, any community yet. We are still
Yeah.
on it's on the working process. I'm talking to the HOD about it. Once it joins, once it is formed, then it will be called the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I hope I'll be doing the next events pretty good, because this time I was not even ready for it, I think, that much. Like the next events will be standardized, and I'll be calling people for workshops, events, and all that. I hope you juniors join actually. We can get connected on LinkedIn actually. My name will be Muthulakshmi PON. So
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
yep. Cool. Then, dude, anyone who wants the certificates, whoever gave you this link, just put the text to them. And anyone who got the text directly from me, just put your names and ask directly DM me. Okay. Am I audible now? Yep. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Yep.
Good
Thank you,
one.
Muthu. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys for joining.
Thank you, Muthu. Thank